Hey guys, so today's video I'll be covering an alleged hidden Atlas character screen from Borderlands 1. I think that's the best way to describe it. But before I get into that, I'm going to shout myself out first. Make sure to subscribe and turn on channel notifications so you'll always know when I upload a video, because YouTube has been having a lot of problems with sub boxes. So I want to make sure that you guys can see it and know when I decide to post more. Also, you guys can follow me on Twitter at Hayder for updates on all future videos. So now let's get into the video itself. So I actually found this when looking back at old Borderlands coverage on YouTube and came across a channel called Borderlands JTag. He was one of the people who was active in the modding scene of Borderlands 1, and he has a lot of great videos on his channel, and I would highly recommend checking them out. Especially he has this video on a modded minigun in Borderlands 1. So I'll link his channel and that video down below. But I came across one of his videos titled, quote, pre-release Borderlands menu / startup. And it's only 15 seconds, so I'll play the whole thing and also link it below if you want to see any of that. Alright, so even though it's only 15 seconds, there's a lot to break down, but first I'm going to acknowledge that he claims this is real. In the description, he states, quote, I found this on accident and I can't control it at all. He's known for modding the game, which is why he has a mission titled Handle the Doll Guards. That's part of a mission from a modded download that you can get for Borderlands 1, so that explains the mission. But who knows? Maybe it is real, maybe he is being truthful. This wasn't like an April 1st video, so full discretion, it might be fake, but let's break it down anyways. So first thing I notice is that the character he's playing as is Lilith, or the Siren, which will become important later, so just keep that in mind. Next, when he opens up the menu itself, if you actually slow down the footage, we see it says Atlas. Underneath that, it says GBX42, which most likely is some reference to Gearbox. And it says initializing UER 1.5, which is actually very different than the main game. If you remember, as soon as you get off the bus in Borderlands 1, Claptrap gives you the Echo device and says it's courtesy of Doll Corporation. So for this one to say Atlas, it kind of shows a change in how the story would have progressed. Then once it opens, you notice that the character in the center is actually a picture of Roland, and that the clothes are the same as his final design. So if Gearbox really did make this, then it was late in the process or development cycle of the game. So Lilith doesn't show up, but I guess it just might be Gearbox only made this for one character just to see how it would look and work. So there's a lot to break down on this screen. We'll start with the top left. The symbols that you can switch between pages are mostly the same. In the final version, the walking stick person was flipped, and it shows his whole body. The backpack was also made smaller. The skill tree symbol was completely changed, and originally it almost looks Iridian, and in the final it looks more just like a simple symbol. The mission page looks almost the same, and even the map is pretty similar, so not too much to mention there. Next, we see that it calls Roland the Special Ops, while in the final version, if you go to his skill page in his menu, it actually says he's just the soldier, and that's how he's referred to almost everywhere else, not Special Ops. Then below that, we see level 7, and we also see the different XP levels, which might have just been placeholder numbers, or if not, if Gearbox actually did have these numbers in the system, then the XP scaling was totally changed from this time to time of release. You can actually look up, and I'll link the wiki below, that from level 7 to 8, the amount of XP needed is way off than what they show in this. So XP might have changed, or it just might be placeholder numbers. Then halfway down, we see the shield and health bar. Pretty standard, not too important. Then it gets crazy at the bottom of the screen where we see a main symbol, which is a sword or blade with wings on the side. Then to the right, we see 3 health symbols or boxes or health crosses. And then to the left, we see 3 boxes or symbols with a weapon barrel. And then at the bottom, I really don't have any idea what the symbol's supposed to be. Let me know what you guys think the two symbols at the bottom are. But he does have some skills that kind of represent what we look at in this version. His main skill almost looks like his skill Revival, which allowed the Scorpio turret to have a chance to revive allies. And the medical cross skills look like his skills Fitness, which increased maximum health, or Aid Station, which gave the Scorpio turret an aura which could regenerate allies' health. So maybe these were reworked, or his skill trees were just broadened, so we really don't know too much. Something else interesting is at the bottom, which says, return to a registration station to spend skill points and customize skills. Skill tree not currently functional. So what I take this as, or what I read this as, is that it's most likely meant is that to spend skill points you had to go to the new U stations, is what I think they meant by registration station. Where then you could change the color of your clothes, change your name, reset skills, and fast travel. And I guess Gearbox also intended to spend skill points, which does seem a little odd and would slow down progression, but who knows. Also, something else important is that it says the skill tree isn't available, and if you look at the top, it's actually completely X'd off and says not functional in this version. So I don't know, maybe they were reworking it, or they just didn't want it available in this build. Then once again, I'll say Roland is in the middle, as I mentioned before, still his final version, so no pre-release graphics or pre-release Roland. And then we'll move to the right side. We see weapon proficiency. The weapons that are shown are the pistol, SMG, shotgun, assault rifle, sniper rifle, and rocket launcher. You might notice that the Iridian category is missing. Maybe we just had to scroll down to see it, or maybe Iridian weapons wouldn't have had proficiency or even existed. So we really don't know. Hopefully it's just you have to scroll down to see it because that's how it's set up in the final version. But maybe it wasn't in there at all. Below that we see the proficiency level with the placeholder blah 1, blah 2, blah 2, blah 2. Which would later become in the final version damage, reload speed, and rate of fire increase. So obviously placeholder text, they didn't have the final version. Then we see a graphic that says brand of choice, which is actually really interesting. For this character, it has Jacobs in the middle. I don't know how the game would figure this out or decide what your brand of choice is, if it's just playtime with the weapon or inventory or how many you pick up. But the red outside is actually a really nice touch of color on the screen and looks really good. It looks pretty fresh. Kind of sad that didn't make it into the final version. And one last change is the money symbol at the bottom. It's a cent sign with the lines above and below sticking out. And the final version ended up being a traditional dollar sign with lines above and below, similar to that, but just kind of modified. And that's really all we see. Also in the description, since he says he can't control it, that's probably why he can't hover over any of the different options or go more in depth. I have no idea how to get to this or if it was just a mod. So I wish I could pull it up for you guys or tell you guys how to get there, but I have no idea. I still don't even know if this is real or not, or if it's just a mod. If it is a mod, then I'm very impressed. It looks great, and it was fun to break down. So let me know what you guys think down below. Have you guys seen this video before? Do you know how to activate this, or is it all just fake? Let me know all your thoughts down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and see you guys in the next one.